Okay, today's word is inadequate. An easy word to use, basically just an advanced way of saying not enough or not good enough, but sounds a lot more academic. Very nice academic language, easy to use. Alright, so inadequate is an adjective. So like all adjectives, we use it in two ways, before a noun and after the verb to be. So let's look at some examples. This long question: some countries not enough medical or educational facilities in rural areas. We see something about not enough in the question, and that you'll often see that that's the case where the question says there's not enough or something's not good enough. And then you can just use inadequate as your paraphrase. So medical and educational services are inadequate. Because this is an adjective, I don't know if you remember the rules about gerunds and infinitives, but one of the rules is after adjective, we can use an infinitive phrase. So you can add an infinitive phrase after inadequate because it's an adjective. Great, but anyway, the point is useful for paraphrase in this example. Some people say that instead of preventing climate change, we need to find a way to live with it. So I've added a sort of introduction opening sentence over here where I've put in my own information. Global efforts to reduce the effects of climate change have been totally inadequate. So notice that that's the verb to be. It's just a present perfect form. And then also notice I've put an adverb in there. Adverb to describe an adjective. Remember, adverbs can describe verbs, but they can also describe adjectives. And I really encourage students to use this structure. Adverb, adjective. It's a great structure, and students don't use it enough. So whenever you use an adjective, just think to yourself, can I use an adverb in front of it to describe that adjective? Alright, so there, it wasn't a paraphrase, it was useful in our opening sentence, introduction sentence. Due to population growth, many people these days live in apartments with limited space and no outdoor areas. There again, this idea of not enough appears in the question. Not enough, not good enough. And you can paraphrase: inadequate living space, limited space, inadequate space. Nice paraphrase. So inadequate is often useful for your paraphrase, but really it's such a versatile adjective that you can use it anywhere in the essay. People prefer to shop at large shopping centers rather than local shops. So here we've got one of these strange essay structures: cause, but then not solution or anything, or effect. It's cause and then is this positive or negative? Anyway, for my cause in this paragraph, I'm going to use inadequate. One of my causes, one of the reasons why people shop at large shopping centers is because the services offered by the local retailers are inadequate. And I can do some hedging here. Often inadequate. Remember, often is an adverb. So, remember often for hedging. Really nice. In large malls, shoppers can have access to blah, 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 blah. Banks, restaurants, toilet facilities, movies, everything like that. So I would go on to explain why the local markets are inadequate. Not enough or not good enough. Great. So I think you get the idea. It's pretty easy to use. Here are a couple of collocations. You can use it in front of all of these things that you know. An inadequate healthcare system, an inadequate education can be detrimental to a child's future. An inadequate transport infrastructure can put pressure on the city. So you can use it all over the place, really flexible. And then, of course, the adverb in front of it. Hopelessly, you can make it very strong. Hopelessly inadequate or totally inadequate if you want to make a strong point. You can make it sort of partially, somewhat inadequate. It's not as strong, that's fine. Then one that I did think of is nutritionally inadequate. That's if you're talking about fast food or junk food. Maybe somewhere you could say that it's nutritionally inadequate. Wow, that kind of thing is band 7+ level, definitely, to be nutritionally inadequate. So notice this use of the adverb in front of the adjective. Very useful. Great. Then one last one that I just thought of, a collocation, we often say wholly inadequate, which is also just totally inadequate. Great. Very easy, very useful, but definitely academic language. try and incorporate it into your writing. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow.